Auburn defeats Vanderbilt 81-54 at Neville Arena. Travel next to Ole Miss for a tough test on the road. Let's talk about this Auburn basketball team in this edition of the Uptempo podcast.
You are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
War Damn Eagle, everybody. I hope everybody's had a good week. Hope you all are blessed, man. I'm your host, Dustin Smith. Doing as always with my guy, Blake Lane. Fresh off that Senior Bowl coverage this week. My guy's been putting in the work. But, Blake, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, Dustin. I'll tell you what, it was the best weather that we could ask for in Mobile this week. Getting to watch these guys ball out, getting to watch these Auburn guys just raise their stock in the draft, and really glad that I got to do this and get to talk to three of them. I tried getting to DJ. It was just tough, man. Local kid. He was swamped, but I really got some good time in with Marcus and Nehemiah and had a great conversation with Simp. And I'll drop this little nugget right here. It never once crossed his mind to transfer from Auburn University because he truly loves Auburn University with all of his heart, man. And I can tell you, I told him, I said, brother, we love you. The Auburn family thinks the world of you, and we appreciate you so much. And it was a fun time. It was a blast just to get to see the other side of those guys and get to just talk to them, and ask them about, how are you doing as a human being,
Right.
And getting to see that side of them. So it was fun, man. It was really fun. And the Senior Bowl, they gave us all the treats and everything and the food and everything. It was awesome. And come home last night and got to watch the Auburn Tigers ball out and win by 27. And, everybody thinks the sky's falling, and then we get a blowout dub at home, and, we're sitting good. We're right in the thick of the SEC race. And I think that's pretty much all you can ask for at this point.
Yes, sir. Hey, we started doing this thing full time about a year ago, Blake, and now you have to cover in the Senior Bowl, brother. We coming up, baby.
Yeah.
Proud of you, buddy. And like you said, man, big win. So let's get in here and talk about it, man. Auburn 81, Vandy 54. I tell you, somebody else, Blake, who loves Auburn, and that's my guy, Jaylin Williams. Jaylin Williams having a night. 21 points. He put up 20 again. And I think it was important. That was really my first takeaway from the night. It was just important for him to get back on track because you go back and look at the last couple of games. Obviously, he struggled. And it's one thing to struggle shooting. It's another thing to just be missing wide open layups. And he was really, I can't even say he was playing like a previous Jaylin Williams, because he hasn't really played like that in a long time, right? When Jaylin Williams wasn't doing his thing, it was more or less him not being aggressive. I thought he was kind of being aggressive. He just wasn't playing well. He wasn't making his shots. So he got back hot last night. He was hitting his threes. He was doing his thing, making his layups. So that was big to see, because if however far this Auburn basketball team is going to go when the postseason comes, a big percentage of that is going to be how well Jaylin Williams is playing at that time in the NCAA tournament. So we're going to, we can't let any of those guys like that, a guy like Jaylin, who's probably the most important piece on this team, either him or Johni, can't let him get into a streak and it kind of start going downhill. It seems like we're getting on that track with Aiden, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But so I'm really impressed with that. And just this team bouncing back, because like you said, this whole like sky is falling kind of mentality, where Bruce had to kind of come out and say publicly, hey, everybody, calm down. You lose games on the road in this league. And like me and you were kind of talking about it too, is there's more than just the offensive end of the floor. And Auburn actually, even though we went 0-2, and I know the point of the game is to win, Auburn played very well defensively.
Yep.
Held Mississippi State and Alabama to their worst offensive efficiency performances of the year, and did that to them in their home arenas. So pretty good defensive performance you took on the road there. Another defensive masterpiece last night. There for a while, I was wondering, is Vanderbilt going to get to like 45? I mean, we really had them in the clamps, dude. And it just, I get it that the alley-oops and the threes and all that stuff is sexy. And 81s, and we were pretty efficient there, especially in the second half. We turned it up. Like me and you were talking about before you record, you said you expected a sloppy start in the first half, kind of coming off of the two losses and all that kind of deal. And then you've already drilled Vanderbilt one time. How much you're going to get up for it, playing them again at home, knowing you're most likely going to win if you handle business. So, but all in all, man, an impressive win, getting back on track. Impressed with Jaylin. Johni, he had 5 blocks in the first half, right? And then Twitter feed is a bunch of people calling out Johni. I just don't understand it, but I'll try to stay off of that. So the guys, the big fellas down there, our power forward and our center were eating. So really impressed with that. Just your overall thoughts on the game, Blake.
Look, I expected a slow start. I expected a sloppy start, playing down to your level of competition and just sluggish. It had been the last 2 times out had been sluggish, and that's what you got. And after half, you look like a completely different team. I do think this team struggles at times with a lot of dribbling and not running sets. There's a lot of stagnant offense at times in every game. Honestly, it happened last night. I think Aiden Holloway has to pick it up. I think he has to get going. I think he is a crucial part of this basketball team. I think that him and Trey can't have off nights together against quality competition. Can't have off nights together against, hear me out, quality competition. Played a very, very poor Vanderbilt team last night. All right, great win. But we need those two to really get going. Trey's had his moments, but we need Aiden. I don't know if we need to move him off ball a little bit. And because we've talked about this, look, to me, it's shot selection. I'm sorry, some disagree, but when he comes off that screen and he is not set and he's falling away or he's falling forward, he's not Steph Curry, y'all. He's not, and he's just not getting set and shooting the rock the way we know he can. And I think that has a big deal. And I think that has a lot to do with his struggles right now. Now, one person that I did see get it going, Dustin, was Denver. And if he continues to keep it going like that, we're headed in the right direction, Dustin.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, if he's giving you 19 and he's shooting the rock like that, and Aiden can get going and Trey continue this, and him on the defensive end, this basketball team could go far. And we've been preaching that. Look, you lose games on the road, dog. It happens. Like we've watched it all around the country, Dustin, and people still want to say, Auburn lost 2 games back on the road. We lost to 2 tournament teams. One of those teams is winning the league right now.
Yeah.
So you people are acting like we've lost to bums. Our other out of conference loss, Baylor. That's a slouch.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here, folks? We're gonna be okay. All right. And guess what? We're gonna lose more games. Hey, hate to break it to you. We're gonna lose. All right. But this Auburn team is deep, Dustin. They're deep. When guys have off nights, other guys step up. And I love the point you made about Savage Twitter Bruce Pearl. You can say whatever you want to say about Bruce, dog. If you want to start all that mess about Bruce and whatever, I'm not here for it. You miss me with it.
Bad.
Bruce is that guy. All right. Bruce is coming out on Twitter now and he's getting vocal with you because you're sitting here saying, hey, Denver ain't it. Denver ain't that guy. Denver ain't doing this. Denver ain't doing that. And Bruce comes out and drops the sunglass emoji on it and says, I told you so. I told you so. You just had to wait for it because I told you he was coming. This basketball team is going to be okay. We're going to survive, man. It's just a matter of time. Look, we got a tough stretch coming up.
Yes, we do.
All right, and we got some tough road games. We got Kentucky at home. We got to go to Knoxville. All right. So embrace it, man. You're going to lose a couple of those. Get behind this basketball team. We're a good team. We're in my opinion, we're going to go far in the tournament. So get behind them.
Yeah, you can take defense anywhere. It'll carry you a long ways. You just hit your free throws, protect the basketball, shoot
Yep.
if Auburn's going to play defense the way that we normally play defense, the way that we played defense under Bruce Pearl, and the way that all the defensive metrics and statistics look this year for this team, you're one of the best defensive teams in the country. There's a reason why Auburn hasn't been blown out yet this far in the season. You talk about the non-conference laws, go look up App State.
Yep.
App State's doing pretty damn good over there. Pretty good in the Sun Belt. So yeah.
And that's a super tough place to play, Dustin.
Yes, it is. Yeah, y'all. I mean, look, App State football, baseball, basketball. You go up to Boone, man. It's gonna be a tough out. They're competitive. They take their sport seriously, and they feel like they can win. That's really the thing that always impresses me about App State. It's like if you see them on the schedule, you're like, oh boy. I mean, we feel that way about baseball too, right? Like if you see App State, it's like you better show up and play. And so they're a really good basketball team. You look at it, we played pretty damn well defensively that night in Boone. So yeah, I think that you have a large enough sample size to say this Auburn team, however you want to slice it, top 5, top 10, top 3, one of the best defensive teams in the country. Bruce can draw up. I mean, we see teams struggle to inbound the ball for 40 minutes on us. He'll draw up, a lot of stuff that is just going to give you hell. They talked about last night. We were switching in and out of the zone, man to man, and then switching back to the zone. Just really, really frustrating. I mean, keeping them off balance, and then a team too like that where Bruce has seen you twice and he knows your tendencies. I was like, I don't know if Vanderbilt how many points they're even going to score tonight. So and then on the point of Aiden. This is my thing with Aiden. So he's a freshman. There's not he's not like a lottery pick, right? He's going to be in college basketball next year. So there's going to be some growing pains. My thing is, as far as this year and this team, I'm not being hard on Aiden, but this team's ceiling goes down. I don't know how much, but when we were really loving on this team, right, when Aiden was playing well, me and you were saying, boy, if both guards play like this, Auburn can do damage.
Yep.
Like 8-4 teams left in this type damage, right? I don't know if you get there because now it's where if Aiden's playing this way, Trey has to ball. Trey has to have a good night, like you said, versus quality competition. You can get away with that versus a team that's won 5 games. But in the big moments, you got guard play wins games in March. It just does. And so what I hope Aiden can do is does he have to come in and light it up and do what we kind of saw in the non-conference at the beginning of the year? No, he doesn't have to come in and do all this crazy stuff and try to reinvent and be logo Win or logo Harper or logo Bryce and all. You don't have to be any of those guys, man. One thing from a fundamental standpoint, when Blake brings up a great point, you could look at Denver's shots last night. Squaring your knees and your feet up with your shoulders going to help you a whole lot if you're trying to shoot it straight at a rim. It just is. Those are the facts. And you can, when Aiden comes around that screen and he has his left foot so far behind his right foot and then he jumps off that way, you're already off balance. You're already setting your – Blake, you're a baseball guy. It's a stand. How important is the stance on a swing? How important is the stance on a swing, bro?
It's crucial. It's your look. Footwork is huge in the infield. I mean, like it's a big deal, and we made that point on Lobtown. Is you watch every one of his shots coming off that screen, and they're all just off balance. And I know he hits a couple, but I think you pointed out a couple in one game. I think we were doing the live last week, and you pointed out he took a shot and he made that shot.
Yep.
And then he took one 2 minutes later and he missed, and you compared the difference.
Right.
And that's just it, man. When he's set, he's a sniper, and he's just got to get there. And like I said, I don't know if we move him off ball, Dustin, or what. Maybe next year it'll be a little easier with Tahad coming in. I don't know. We got to find out.
Yeah, because again, it's just this team can go far if Aiden's playing efficient. He doesn't have to light the world on fire, but he's got to be a little bit more efficient than 20. Where I know he was at 26% coming into the game last night, and he went 0 for 5 from the field. So I'm sure it dropped. So he's got to find a way to be efficient. I would encourage get to the basket, just find a way to get to the basket, get to that free throw line, start seeing that ball go in. If you start driving, you're going to set up yourself because we know he has the ability to dish it as well. He's got good court vision. He's got a good basketball IQ. We've seen him make some highlight passes, but no one's buying it right now because they know what you're doing. They know you're pulling. They know you're coming out to three and you're pulling. No screen he's pulling, Blake. He's just coming down pulling. So they know that. He's got to play basketball. This is not a 3-point competition. And like you said, you're not Steph Curry. You're not Reggie Miller. And even if you watch Steph Curry, there's a whole lot of getting to the basket to create those 3-point opportunities. So a talented kid, I'm not knocking him or nothing, but like 0 for 5, and you see the struggle that he's in. You see the stretch. So he's got to pick it up if this team's going to reach his maximum potential.
Yeah, we just know what he's capable of. That's all it is. And we got to have that to go far. Can't have Aiden Holloway going 0 for 5 from the field, and then you can't have Trey giving you 2. I mean, you can have it against Vanderbilt, but let's say you meet Houston in the second round again. Can't have it. That's the point we're making here. We gotta get it together. All right. And in March, guards win. Period. That's it. So
yeah. So we've already beat Ole Miss once, Blake, and we put it on them, and it was a good night, and we all had fun with it. But here's time to redeem that. Right, here we go again, and I'm sure Allegan Flanagan remembers the boos that were just a couple weeks ago, and I'm sure that the Ole Miss fans are going to want to, help their guy out. He is their guy now, as weird as it is for us to say, help their guy out and kind of show some redemption for their boys. They're going to be fired up for that the same way we would be if Auburn went on the road, got clapped by a rival team, and, however you want to say that. Rival or not, there's a whole lot of trash talk going on between both fan bases across multiple sports. And then we would feel that way too. We'd be fired up, like, all right, bro. Well, now you're coming to our house. I mean, look at Alabama. They didn't clap us, but we're all fired up to get that one back. So there's going to be a loud place in there, and they're damn good at home, Blake. And I'll ask you this, man. I feel like tight game Saturday. You're going to be in a tight game on the road. I think it's going to be 3 minutes to go, and it's going to be your game to win or lose. Can we do it, Blake? Can Auburn come out of Oxford and actually make the plays down the stretch to get this dub?
Yeah, I think they can. I think they can do it because I think Auburn is one of the best teams in the country.
Ooh.
And I do. I believe that, man. I really do. And I know people, hey, you can say I'm bugging all you want to, but I do. When Auburn is playing Auburn basketball, when guys like Aiden are playing well, when guys like KD are playing like the beginning of the year KD and not last year KD. All right. When we got 3-on-1 transition, KD, let's give it up, brother. All right. Let's give it up. All right. Let's don't go to the rim and throw up a wild layup, hoping to get fouled. And then when you don't get fouled, like, come on. All right.
Yeah.
I've seen those plays and we're starting to get back to last year. All right. Let's keep it together here. All right. I think Auburn goes in Saturday. You're going to get a better performance from Aiden. You're going to have a better performance from Trey. Auburn knows what this game means. If I'm not mistaken, this is a quad 1 opportunity now.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's on the road. Once again, Auburn on the road in a quad 1 opportunity. Auburn knows what's at stake. You can't go 0 for 4 in quad 1 opportunities now. All right?
Right.
I think Auburn plays fired up. I think you're going to get another big game from Johni. Rebounding scares me a little bit because I feel like there's at times Auburn gets we just get spanked on the boards. And it's that Mississippi State game, we got manhandled. Yeah. If you want to really look at something and say why we lost the Mississippi State game, you can just look at the offensive rebounds in the Mississippi State box score. Like it's atrocious. That day was bad. So I am worried about our rebounding. Do we run Dylan and Johni at the 4 and 5? Do we make that happen Saturday? If
I wouldn't mind seeing it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it to go down the stretch. Could you play some Jaylin at the 3? I know that's a big lineup. Yeah. I know that sounds pretty goofy, but if you're just getting pounded down there, right? And if there's 2 minutes to go, now if CBM is balling, then whatever. But right now, I would say that 3 spot's not the last couple of games. CBN's been struggling a little bit. Chris Moore's been struggling. So if you got into that point, that might be too goofy as I sit here and think about it. But
okay, but think about this though. Do you remember the Grant Nelson rebound in Tuscaloosa over CBM?
Yeah.
Like we didn't have anybody getting a board right there. Like it's we get spanked on the boards at times, and that's my only concern with this basketball team. I think we got all the talent in the world. I think that we are going to defend on the road. Look, Auburn's a really, really solid defensive basketball team, like Dustin pointed out. It's going to be close. It's going to be close, real close. Yeah, we're going to find a way to get it done because we know we're not going to lose to Allen Flanagan, dog. We're not. We're not going down that road. We're not.
Yeah.
All right. I just told you at the beginning of the show that Jaylin Simpson didn't transfer because guess what? He loved Auburn. All right. And he wasn't leaving. He said, I didn't commit to no coach. I committed to the Auburn University. All right. Right there. All right. We ain't losing to him. So I think we make enough plays. I think we got to have KD step up. Jay Will's just balling out of his mind, dog. Unstoppable. The confidence for the 3-ball, shoot it, Jay Will. Shoot it, dog. As many times you shoot the basketball. We know the mid-range can get there. The floater, all right, the little hook that he's got. If all that's hitting, brother, just shoot it. Just shoot it, all right? We know what he can do. Talented Auburn basketball team. If you get that Denver you got last night, boy, look out. Another one that I think his confidence has got to keep pushing forward. Shoot the basketball, Denver. Shoot it. Yeah. Let it fly. Don't hold it back, brother. Dustin, I think we win this basketball game. It's close. If anything, I would put I want to say we win. Let me say 71-67 Auburn.
I would love that, man. I would love that. It would. I got some bookmarks saved from Saturday about how Auburn can't win on the road, so I would really, really love that. I'll say this. So let's look real quick. Here's my reason for thinking we have a good shot. And I know this, it might kind of sound, but look, they're undefeated at home right now. They've got 3 losses. They obviously lost to us, and then they lost to LSU on the road, and they lost to Tennessee on the road. So they're undefeated at home. Is Ole Miss a good enough basketball team to go undefeated at home on the road or undefeated at home all year? I don't think so. I think they're a good basketball team. I don't think they're as good as their record indicates, and that's going to show itself over time. But they're not going to go undefeated at home. Yep. They're not. They're not going to win every single home game this year. And they got a real good basketball team coming in, and Auburn that's drilled them. Looking at it real quick, since we played them, we beat them 82-59 in Neville. They then turn around and beat Arkansas 77-51. Booty blasted them, you could say. And then they lost to A&M 71. Then they beat A&M 71-68, and then they beat State 86-82. Yeah. So now looking at all.
Poor Arkansas, man. The Hogs. They're down bad, brother. They're down bad.
Pig suey. Y'all can't come to me no more talking. No more trash, dude. Blake, you talked about our tough stretch real quick. And as you said that, I pulled it up. And it is a tough one. It is a tough one. And now my computer wants to shoot away from the schedule, but I'll pull it up real quick. So you got, obviously you're going to Ole Miss Saturday. And then you have Alabama coming in Wednesday, all Auburn, all orange. Wear your orange.
Hey, Dustin, can I stop you real quick, man? Why are we playing Alabama in the middle of the week, dog?
Always.
Yeah. Can we get a Saturday game? Come on, man. This should be prime time. This should be prime time Saturday college basketball, man. Put it in a 6 p.m. slot and let's roll, brother. What are we doing?
Yeah, I'm with you. And but Blake, we play the Iron Bowl at 2:30 every single year too. So it is what it is. But you have Ole Miss, then you come back home and you play Alabama. Then you go on the road to the House of Horrors for Auburn basketball for 40 years or some crap in Gainesville. And then you've got a surprising South Carolina team coming in at home. And then you've got Kentucky coming in at home. And then you got Georgia on the road, which even when they sucked was no pushover. And now they've improved. And then after that, you go to Tennessee. And then State's coming back in there. So, yeah, this little stretch here, bro, of Ole Miss or at Ole Miss, Bama at home, at Florida, South Carolina at home, Kentucky at home, at Georgia, and at Tennessee is tough. I do like the last 3 games of the year. I think you can beat State at home. I think you can win on the road at Missouri, and then you can beat Georgia at home. But that stretch, man, that's a tough one. So really, man, just looking at that, I'd be cool coming out of that 500. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, look, Georgia, we've seen them improve. I mean, they were up on Alabama by like 15 last night at half. They blew it in the second half. They were up on Tennessee by double digits in the first half at Georgia. They blew that game. It's a tough place to play. It's a tough place to play. All right. It's not going to be an easy task. All right. Kentucky, we know they've been kind of skidding lately, but we know the talent on that basketball team. I think Auburn remembers what happened last year, though. All right. I think that one sits in the back of the mind. All right.
I hope so.
Yeah, and they got to come to daddy this year, all right? So hopefully we get that get back. We're going to Knoxville, man, and then you got a scary South Carolina team. Nobody saw that coming. I mean, that kind of scares me because they're a really good rebounding basketball team, and that's why I kind of worry. And then obviously Mississippi State, they just blasted you on the boards in Starkville at the hump, and it's just a tough stretch. And you haven't won in Gainesville in years, so when you break it down and look at it, yeah, it's a tough stretch. And people want to sit here and say, the sky is falling. The sky is not falling. We told you at the beginning of the episode, we're going to lose more games. That's just period. Yeah, that's how it is. It's college basketball. It's how it is. North Carolina, guess what? They went on the road the other night, lost. Yeah. They lost. Like they were a top 10 team. Went on the road to a team that I think won 10 games all year, lost. Yeah. It happens. It happens. That's college basketball. That's how it goes. I think you win Saturday. You prepare for Alabama, and if you can get hot, if you win Saturday, turn around and beat Alabama, and you can get really hot going down this stretch, I think Auburn could do damage. But I just don't want that one loss, and everybody's just, well, we're terrible. We're not going to make the tournament. It's over. It's looking just so grim. So, I don't know, man. We're going to lose games. It's going to happen, and that's a tough stretch, one of the toughest in the conference. So,
yeah, I got a friend. He played college basketball. Me and him did some coaching back in the day a little bit, and then his dad coached played at Southern Miss, and then was an assistant coach at Southern Miss for a little bit. And we got like a little basketball group text, and we ain't talked in a long time. They used to live here, and they moved. But anyway, I texted them this week, and I was like, hey, just a question, fellas. Mainly more for the pops who had coached and everything. But why is it, just so hard to win on the road in college basketball? He was like, man, it's what you go through in high school or a middle school game, but on a much elevated level of it's simple. You stand on the free throw line, and there's a whole bunch of people behind you waving. It's like in your mind, it doesn't even really you're concentrated, you're cool. Like you're not like, oh my God, these people, like you get it, but it's still just tougher. You still just have to take that extra breath, that extra focus. And, just they're chanting, they're yelling, you're trying to communicate. It's just a whole lot that goes into it. It's just harder to do from just a psyche reason. If nothing else alone, the travel, sleeping in a hotel, having to get, versus just walking out of where you sleep every day and going down to the gym that you play and practice in every single day. And then we made this point on last episode too, Blake. The tournament games ain't played on the road. So, you got to win enough to build a good resume. That's what you got to do. And build some character amongst your team that you can handle adversity. But it's come March, you're not really going to be in that situation anyway.
Bro, one thing I've always heard was different rims. Different rims. So you're shooting on different rims.
Right. Yeah.
So it takes a little adjustment to that. And people might think that's crazy, but to basketball players, it's not. Like, your rims. Yeah. And it's like everybody also used to make the big deal about Auburn playing with a Nike basketball. when you go on the road, you play with a different basketball. You play with whatever their brand is. So um, I know that's you got to think, man, the crowd noise and everything. Like you listen to South Carolina the other night and how hyped that gym
Mhm.
was, and it's tough. It's tough, man. The Hump, that's a tough place to play. It's 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 just hard, man. Because like
Yeah.
you said, I think you made a great point. You also have to go and sleep in this hotel that's got hard beds. Remember what the hotel they put us in the hotel at Arkansas?
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
what that looked like? Walking in there, they're trying to play mind games on you. All
Yeah.
right, like it's just difficult, and you got to uproot everything you got at the house, get on
Mhm.
a plane, travel across the South, go to this game, wake up like you said, and it's just it interferes with your everyday routine, and so it's just it's difficult, and it's going to continue to happen in college basketball. Dustin,
Right.
people are
Yes.
going to continue to lose.
Yeah.
There will probably be somebody lose a top 10 team lose Saturday on the road. So
Oh yeah, there will be. Yeah. It's just the fundamentals of the sport.
yeah,
Um, so we continue to go, guys, and we love y'all. We appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button. We just reached that 1,500 mark.
yeah,
Got our eyes on 2,000. We need to get there soon. Hit that like button if you have not yet. It would help us out a lot. Go over there and support our sponsor at the Barner Supply Company. I got the post on my Twitter. Blake will post a link
yeah.
in the video description as well. But Blake, I wanted to kind of take this time today, man, to just say, we all saw the news of Terry Beasley,
Mm,
and I mean, first off, to his family and everybody, we're praying for you. We love you. Obviously, the football stuff, and I think it really said a lot about what him and Pat Sullivan did, that they're mentioned together, right? Like
yep,
it just, you don't mention one without the other, and I wish I was around to see that, man. I
yep,
wish that I could have witnessed that up close, and because the numbers, they still stand. Now, part of that is the goofiness of Auburn not being able to figure out the passing game in the 21st century, but the numbers were fire. Them dudes were legit. But I just want to say, man, if you're my DMs are open. You see my Twitter handle right there. If if you're struggling, if you're going through something, if you're battling some kind of mental health struggle, I'm 2 weeks away on coming up on a 5th year anniversary. That's really important for me. It's a personal milestone. I'm not going to get too much in the details, right? But I'll tell you that I was in a very, very dark room and didn't think there was a way out of it. But there is. But you just gonna have to buckle down your bootstraps a little bit, man, and figure it out. And I'm just so it's tough. There's a lot of people out there that are struggling. There's all kind of life's hard, man. Hang in there. Hang in there. Life's worth living. I promise it is. I promise that it is. And so if you are struggling, man, if you feel like there's nobody that cares, if there's nobody to talk to, my Twitter handle is right there, and I promise you that I will take the time out of my day to have that conversation with you, because it's something that I take extremely serious. And to the Beasley family, the Auburn family loves you. We support you, praying for you, wishing nothing but the best for you. And I just would hope that that the media and everybody else that is covering something like this could show the family some grace and show a little respect, because it's a tough deal, and an all-time goat, a guy that made Auburn football better than when he left it. So we love you, Terry Beasley. We appreciate you. And Ward Dem Eagle, my guy, rest easy.
number 88, the goat dog. Sad, man. Tough, tough, tough. You know, you go back and you watch like Roll Tide, War Eagle. You'll probably sit down and watch that one tonight, and just electric what he did for the program, man. Electric, and like people think that he could have played in today's NFL. He was so electric.
Yeah.
Like people were saying that he was that talented that he could have transitioned into the game today. Uh, it sucks, man, because like you hear the stories. Like we wasn't around when Terry Beasley was hooping. We didn't get to see any of that, and like you hear the stories of like how good he was, and what he meant to Auburn, and all the things he did in the community. And then after he left, like how he was still so passionate about Auburn, and he just loved Auburn and everything Auburn stands for and stood for back then. He was just that guy for Auburn. And, we hate it. And we lost a legend. We lost a guy that put up record numbers for our university. And it's a terrible feeling. And like Dustin said, we're praying for the Beasley family. Um, it just it's tough. And Dustin said, if you're going through anything out there, if you need somebody to talk to, my DMs are open as well. It's times are tough out there. The world is a cruel place at times. The world can get on you fast, man. Life can hit you right in the mouth before you ever see it coming. And I I hate to hear this, man. I really do. And if you need somebody to talk to, we're always available. So rest in peace to a legend. Rest in peace to the wide receiver goat. All right. Terry, all I can tell you, brother, is we got some good ones coming, and I wish you were here to see what's about to happen on the plains, man, because I know you're smiling. You're going to be smiling ear to ear, man, and it's going to be exciting to watch. So if you're an Auburn wide receiver coming to the plains this year, man, Cam Coleman, Perry Thompson, Malcolm Simmons, Bryce Kane, bro, dedicate this season to 88. Put on a clinic for the guys that are still here. Camden Brown, dog, eat. All right, put on a clinic for 88. Get your ass in the room and go to work, because that man, that's all he wants to see is for Auburn to eat at the wide receiver position. Do it. Do something about it. Jay Fair, make it happen, bro. Be a leader. Caleb Burton, make it happen. Be a leader. Let's go get it done, man. Let's change the face of Auburn football on the offensive side, because that would make him happier than anything. So, like we said, bro, rest in peace to a legend. We love you.
Yes, sir. Good stuff, Blake. Real quick for our members, Blake is editing the content now from the senior day. Be on the lookout for that, or senior bowl, excuse me. Be on the lookout for that. Crowded bunch out there, Blake. A lot of people talking. Got to kind of edit that audio and clean it up a little bit. But be on the lookout for that for our members, man. We're really excited to get that stuff to y'all. We're coming up. Help us out by doing that, by hitting that like button. We will see you guys back here Sunday afternoon celebrating an Ole Miss dub. We'll see if some football stuff happens that we need to talk about. We're a damn Eagle. We love all of y'all. We're out of here, man.
We're down, baby.